What's going on, guys? Tua Cruz here, and today we're going to be doing an update video. We've been getting a lot of questions from you guys asking where is Thuong, where is my wife. She hasn't shown up on the channel in a little while, and so in today's video we're just going to be updating you guys on the situation. So around June is when I left Vietnam to move back to the US to start preparing for us to move here, and at that time we were still waiting on my wife's visa application. By the way, I'm here at the Detroit cyclocross race course. I just finished up my race, so I'll be uploading a whole separate video for that a little bit later on the channel. So I think there's just a few other little races going on now, a kids race and stuff. So unfortunately most of the action is done, but it's a nice sunny day and figured it's a good place to walk around and tell you guys about our situation.
Found like your YouTube channel.
Oh,
stuff,
cool.
So I see you're nice. Good to meet you.
Yeah, you too. That was pretty cool. That's actually one of the first fan interactions we've had in a long time. This was a pretty tough course, by the way, really hilly. So they had two different alternate options here. This is the easy option. You do this little switchbacks here to go up the hill, and then there's a steeper hill over here. So I'll show you guys that. But anyway, so we've been waiting about 2 years for my wife's green card application. I've made a bunch of videos about this already, about why we're applying for her green card, why we're moving to the US. So I'm not going to talk about that too much in today's video. You can check out some of our older videos if you want to learn more about that. Anyway, we started the application in January 2023, and now it's September 2024. So almost 2 years has gone by, and we're still waiting to get her visa to come to the US, which is just kind of ridiculous. So there's multiple steps during the application process, and the first part of the application, the I-130, took about a full year. And I mean, the biggest thing with applying for US citizenship is it just takes time. You need to prepare a lot of documents, and it takes a lot of time. So we've been waiting, we've been enjoying our life in Vietnam in the meantime. And so this is the steep hill section we had to go up during the race. Well, you didn't have to go up it. You had the option. You could try and go up this steep hill, or you could take the alternative line. In the elite race, it wasn't any problem because I could choose what gear I wanted, but you got to be careful because there's a couple roots in here. During the single speed race, it was pretty tough though, because I didn't have the gear to get up it. So we had to sprint up the first half and then run up the second half. So this is a pretty tough section on the course. Going on to Thuong's visa application, we had to wait the first year to get the first part of the application done. And then the second part, there's a couple smaller steps, but basically you upload a bunch of documents again to a different government agency. And we eventually became what they call documentarily qualified. And so that means they've accepted all of our documents and they've sort of proofread everything. Everything kind of looks good. And they're just waiting. They send our information to the local embassy where they're going to be doing our interview, and we're doing our interview over in the Ho Chi Minh in Saigon. So basically they send all our information there, and then we have to wait until they have an availability date where we can do the interview. So we were already at that step when I left to come back to the US. So that was around June, and I figured it'd only take like a month or two before they were able to schedule the interview. But I was wrong. They were backed up, of course, and this was the downhill we had to do during the course, which was pretty intense. They blocked it off for the kids race. It's a little too dangerous. So we're going to continue on this way. And so it took a little bit longer than expected. I was hoping that it'd only take like another month for them to schedule the interview, and then another month after that until the interview. So I was hoping she'd already be here in the US. But of course, that wasn't the case. We're here in September already. So June, July, August, September, 3 months have already passed. And just a few weeks ago, we got the notification that they've scheduled her interview date, and her interview date is going to be around late October. So finally, we have this whole entire process so far. We haven't had any information on an estimated timeline. When we submitted our first part of the application, it estimated 3 to 6 months. It ended up taking a year. So we never had a solid date on when everything would go through. But finally, we have our interview date, end of October. She's done all the preparation. We got all the documents. she had to get all of her vaccinations done because she didn't have any of those records. And then she had to go to Saigon to get her medical checkup. So you can't just go to a normal hospital. You have to go to a hospital approved by the embassy to get your official health check. And then they send that health check to the embassy. And we've had to do a bunch of stuff. She had to get like her criminal history report. So if you've lived in another country for over 6 months, you have to get a criminal record background check from that country. So she had to do that for Japan, and then she also had to do that for Vietnam. And luckily, we didn't have to do that for Thailand because we didn't live in Thailand for over 6 months. So we were pretty lucky with that one. But yeah, we got all of our documents prepared now, and we got our interview date. So the only thing left now is she just has to attend the interview, and hopefully, if there's no problems, they should issue the visa about a week to 2 weeks after the interview date. This is the bike pit area for the race, by the way. Here's the start-finish area for the race.
Kids up to the pit area. If there's anybody doing the kids race, head on up there. We're 4 minutes out to our start. 4 minutes till the start of our kids race.
You can see we got the starting grid here. DICX for the Detroit Invitational Cyclocross course. It looks like they're changing up the course a little bit right now for the kids race. It's a hot day today. Over 90s, sunny. So it started to get cool a little bit here last week, but luckily we got a second wave before summer ends here as we transition into fall. So a little spoiler for the race, I ended up getting 4th in the elite race, and then I also doubled up. I did the single speed race, which was my first ever single speed race, and I got 2nd, so pretty good day of racing for me. I think in the elite field I was less than a minute down from the leaders, and I had a last row start, so pretty successful day for me. This is the Dolores Velodrome, which is a really cool historic velodrome here in Detroit. I believe this place hosted like multiple national championships, the last one back in like 1970. And so we entered on this velodrome a few different sections, and it was really cool to like see this. It's a concrete track. Obviously it's in pretty rough shape. You can't really ride it anymore, but on a cyclocross bike, it's okay. So really cool, unique location here for the race. I was really hoping that Thuong would be able to make it here by this time because I wanted her to be able to do some of the local cyclocross races, especially the early season ones where you have some nice weather. Cyclocross gets a little tougher later in the season as the weather gets colder, especially here in Michigan. We've had amazing weather in the summer, a really cool, nice weather compared to Vietnam, which is just hot and humid. It's really hot today, it's like over 90s, but it's not humid, so I actually really like this weather. So our current timeline is, again, her visa interview is at the end of October. We're hoping there's not going to be any issues. We got to make sure we print every document. We're going to print duplicate copies. You got to make sure you have originals of certain documents, and we're just going to double check, triple check that. And as long as they don't ask any trick questions on the interview, I think we should be okay. For the most part, it looks like the interview is just to confirm that it's not like a fake kind of relationship, and we have like 7 years of history of making videos on YouTube and so much documentation of our relationship, so really not worried about that. So crossing our fingers that the interview goes okay, and then they issue her visa, and basically we're just going to book the earliest flight we can after she gets her visa. It's kind of tough because I want to book it earlier so the price doesn't go up too crazy, but we got to wait until we confirm that she gets the visa, and we're going to just try and hopefully get not too expensive of a flight. For one way, it's usually about $1,000 to $1,500, just depending on the season and how early you can get it. And so based on that, she should hopefully be here by early November. That's our goal. We're crossing our fingers, and hopefully that'll happen. So on one hand, it's been really nice being able to get back here early, can finish working on our house so that it's ready and pretty much livable now for her and me to be here. Just getting everything organized, getting our new bikes and stuff ready so that she can enjoy the cycling here. It's really nice with all the gravel roads and everything, and then we got a full cyclocross season, so I'll be doing a couple more cyclocross races here coming up. We got races almost every week now, which is really nice and really exciting. We've got some other exciting updates coming up, including new channel sponsors and just the direction of the channel. So Thuong's got her channel as well, and that used to be a walking channel, but we're going to be changing the focus on that because I don't think she's really going to be able to make many walking videos here in the US. So I think she's going to change her channel to be more of a vlog kind of style channel where she documents her life adjusting here into the US. So make sure, if you haven't, you can check out Thuong's channel. Currently the name is Vietnam Travel Guide. I'll leave a link down below in the description, but she'll be changing that name, her channel name, to something else in the future, maybe Thuong in the US or something. So that channel name might be changing. The best way to find it is with the link. I'll have that down below. And then on Two Wheel Cruise, we're gonna focus more on cycling specific videos. So if you're interested more in like our daily life and her kind of updates, you can follow on her channel. She's been making some videos already about her last few days in Da Nang. She just moved back with her family in her hometown to spend some time together with them until the interview date. We don't know the next time we're gonna be back in Vietnam, but one of the exciting things and one of the big reasons why we're doing this move to the US is so she can eventually get her US citizenship. But just having the green card alone just opens so many more doors. We can do more traveling. So we are hoping to do some traveling over to Asia, and just having the green card, I believe it allows her to get into Japan and other countries that she normally wouldn't be able to get into with just the Vietnamese passport. So we're hoping to do another trip over to Asia, maybe next year. It just depends on how quickly and smoothly everything goes with our moving here to the US. So really excited for Thuong to be back on the channel, and hopefully it's not too much longer. So it's mid-September right now. So hopefully just another about 6 weeks or so. And yeah, that's a quick update on our situation. Thanks as always for watching and supporting the channel. Especially a big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon who continue to support our channel over the years. We really appreciate your guys' support, and it's tough filming these videos right now just because I got so much stuff to do with the house, and I'm also focusing a lot on my training right now because I do have some big goals with cycling and racing again, just getting back in shape and being able to get into a fitness level that I'm comfortable with. And then also filming these videos, it's a lot of work. It's tough when you're by yourself. It's a lot easier with Thuong. It feels more natural filming videos together. We've been filming most of our videos on the channel together for the last few years, so it's kind of weird when it's just me by myself and not her in the videos. So looking forward to her being back. And yeah, we spent a lot of our time together the last few years, just always by each other's side. So it's really tough when we're apart, but hopefully not too much more time until we're reunited and we get to see her reactions about life in the US, which is going to be very different compared to life in Asia. Anyway, that's it for today's video, guys. It's hot, I'm tired. I'm gonna head back home and rest up after today's race. We'll see you next time here on Two Wheel Cruise.